I have no doubt that I'm gonna get a lot of hate on this, but if you watch until the end, I think you'll be surprised by my reasoning, because in this video, I'm going to be sharing the absolute bare minimum requirements to taking care of a dog. Starting off strong with one of the more important ones that's gonna have the biggest impact with the most minimal effort, and that is adding one moisture-rich, fresh food option to the bowl. Over 96% of pet parents are feeding an ultra-processed dry food, aka kibble, which can be incredibly dehydrating. Think about it, the way that these kibble manufacturers are able to make these little nuggets of dry food that's shelf stable for years at a time is by filling it with starchy, carbohydrate-rich ingredients, which again can deplete the moisture in our dogs. Most kibble is cooked and extruded at extremely high temperatures, which removes the naturally occurring micro and macronutrients, which is why most kibbles add a vitamin synthetic pack to it. So this is why I add at least one fresh food to the bowl every single day. A couple easy examples are adding raw organic goat milk to the bowl, or even homemade bone broth with no salt or seasoning added. They're both nutrient dense as well as moisture rich. Or you can add some broccoli to the bowl. I just make sure to either mince it or lightly steam it. An easy hack is when organic frozen broccoli is on sale in the freezer section, I stock up on that. Then you can lightly microwave it, let it cool. And yes, linked in the description below are gonna be my favorite kibbles, favorite dog foods, as well as favorite kibble toppers that you can check after this. Now, this next bare minimum requirement to help make sure my dogs are healthy, happy, and thriving as much as possible is around the topic of exercise. But before I talk about that, I want to address the elephant in the room, which is, I'm sure you're asking, Rachel, why are you talking about the bare minimum requirements of taking care of a dog? Don't we want to go above and beyond? And yes, absolutely we do. But here's something I'm learning. Being human means that we are going to face difficult and sometimes impossible circumstances in our life. That's going to mean that we're not going to be able to give as much to ourselves, our family, and sometimes to our pets. These are the things that I would do if I had very little financial support, if I had very little time, if my health wasn't great. In my opinion, for my dogs, the bare minimum exercise that I want them to have is 15 to 20 minutes of heart pumping exercise at least 5 days a week. And by heart pumping, I mean something that increases their heart rate a bit and gets them panting and really moving their muscle. And remember, it doesn't always have to be about speed, like throwing a ball or taking them on a run. Sometimes it could be finding a hill and walking up and down that on a nice incline with your dog, or going up and down stairs. I don't love the idea of running up and down, but kind of going up and down. And at the end of this video, after I share the rest of these hacks, I'm gonna share my 15-minute process on how I tire my dogs fast. But first, let's talk about enrichment, which is definitely one of the more important things to do for our dogs and one of the easier ones that can help reduce stress, boredom, anxiety, hyperactivity, which is just giving my dogs an opportunity to use their mind and overcome challenges and obstacles, which builds their confidence and gives them mental stimulation and enrichment. One of the ways we do that is through enrichment toys. So this is a good example of his BarkBox Super Chewer toy that just came in the mail. I'll show you the rest in just a moment. But what's really cool about this, you sit, good boy, you can tell he loves it, is I stuffed some of his favorite treats under here, and this is a durable super chewer toy, so great for super chewers. And yes, everything will be linked down below on my shop page, so don't worry about that. And what's great is I can stuff some pet safe peanut butter in here or treats, and then he can work to get it out. Again, this can help reduce stress, anxiety, boredom, and it is, in my opinion, that the bare minimum we can do for our dogs is to give them at least one brain game per day, which this would absolutely count. In place. Yes, good job. And then he can work to get them out. A couple other toys from my Super Chewer box, which I just want to show because this theme just came out. So this is a monthly subscription toy box, which is so fun. Super Chewer is for the more super chewer dogs that have more durable toys in them. Look at this one for this month. This is a pool theme, so this is a great toss toy, fetch toy. What's great about this is if you are gonna play fetch with your dog, because this has different edges, it will bounce erratically, so it keeps your dog engaged. So it's not just a quick toss and then back and forth. This keeps them interested. And look at this noodle toy. I love it. They call it the Drool Pool Noodle, made of natural rubber, BPA free, but it's just a great squeaker, durable toy. I've been getting these toys every single month in the mail for the past, gosh, year or more for Wally. And big thanks to Super Chewer and BarkBox for supporting our mission to save all the damn dogs by sponsoring this part of the video. And then you have your traditional bark box toys, the same theme, which is pool party animals. And these are the more traditional plush toys. Great for all dogs, especially puppies and dogs that just love soft toys. This is my favorite by far. It is the Tina the tubular unicorn. I know, so cute. So this would be really fun to give our dogs to play. Then this is my second favorite. This is like a Capri Sun, so fun. And it's got the different elements, right? We've got a squeaker, we have the crinkly. So what this does, all of these new toys and getting them every month is a new and novel experience for our dogs, which is a form of enrichment. One thing I love to do is to take the toys, layer the bottom of this box with their kibble or their treats, lay the toys on top of it, and have the dogs go and dig out, which is another easy brain game that we do every month, every time we get a new subscription box. This is a special link for you, special offer, linked in the description below. Another easy game is every time these new boxes come, I'll take their toys that come in it, which look at this super soaker, so stinking cute, and I'll toss them in the room. I'll put some treats or their food under the toys, so they use their nose to go find the toys, then they got to push the toys over to get their treats. It's a fun game that gives them mental and physical exercise. Now, for this next bare minimum requirement when taking care of any dog is around dental health. Unfortunately, canine dental disease and gum disease is one of the most common diseases that dogs suffer from, and this is really important to understand because dental health can have a direct correlation and connection to heart health, and it's something that we don't necessarily think about on a daily basis. So for me, the bare minimum thing that I'll do to take care of my dog's dental health is either brushing their teeth every day, which my DIY recipes link down below, and or giving my dogs a dental health promoting chew at least every other day. Like for my dogs, I'll give them raw chicken wings or raw duck necks. I also have some chews that I'll actually purchase, which those will be linked to my shop page linked below. And what these things can do is help scrape off the plaque and tartar while they're chewing. It also helps massage their gums, and chewing on things is actually satisfying, soothing, and mentally enriching, so you're getting multiple benefits from this single activity. Clipping their nails. This is something that I cannot talk enough about. I see a lot of people posting pictures and videos of their dogs, and I see those long nails, and it kind of makes me grimace. Now, I'm not perfect. I've definitely had situations, especially with my senior lab, as he started aging, his nails started growing so much faster and thicker. And so during that transition, I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm getting behind on his nail trims. But keeping my dog's nails trimmed so that they're not clicking and clacking when they're walking around is really important, because if you let their nails get too long, it can actually hurt their joints, hurt their muscles, and it can cause a lot of discomfort and other health issues. So every dog is different. My Labrador, I need to clip his nails every 2 to 3 weeks. For Wally and Finn, because they run so much more on hard surfaces, I'll clip their nails usually once a month on average, sometimes every 3 weeks, but usually every 4 to 5 weeks. And I do have my favorite nail clippers and how I clip my nails, dog's nails, linked in the description. Basically everything else you want to learn, it'll be all linked for you below. But this is really important to do, as well as grooming. So for my longer haired dogs, we brush them every day. I think that is the bare minimum, especially for those that mat. Now, if you have a shorter haired dog, like my Labrador Bentley, he sheds a lot, but he never mats. I think that once a week grooming and brushing is really important, because even if he's not getting mats in his fur, that's helping to remove dead skin, dead hairs, and for a lot of dogs, it's really relaxing. In addition to that, another benefit is that helps socialize them because they're being handled. So if they're really used to being touched and brushed kind of all over, if they do have to go to the vet or a groomer, they're not going to be as traumatized by it if they're really accustomed to it. And then that takes me to socialization. Socialization means having a dog that's comfortable, confident, and able and wanting to listen to you and focus on you, regardless of what's going on in their environment, whether that's a new person coming into your home, or you're going to Home Depot and working with your dog, or you're going on a picnic with family. It's helping to raise a more neutral dog, so where they're not being super reactive or super anxious and nervous. And in my opinion, the bare minimum way we can practice this is at least once a week, giving them a new novel, or different experience and ensuring that there's a positive outcome. A couple quick examples is going to a park, not a dog park. I'm not personally a fan of dog parks. If they're really nervous, I could start with sitting in a car, having a brain game toy like this, for example, filled with their favorite high value treats or food, and having them work on this sitting in the trunk, like let's say you have an SUV, you open up the trunk or the back of a truck and sit with them, right? You have the air on, make sure it's not too hot, with a harness, etc. And you sit there and have them work on a toy like this, a brain game puzzle, or feed them their meal while there are different noises, distractions around them. You could do this in your front yard on a blanket if you have a puppy that don't have all their shots yet. Now, I'm not a big fan of dog parks because there's too many unknowns. All it can take is if we go to a dog park, a lot of people think, oh, socializing is getting my dog playing with other dogs. That's absolutely not what socializing means, in my opinion. In fact, it can actually harm your dog mentally and physically because maybe they're having an off day or they're not trained and they don't like your dog for whatever reason and they go after your dog. That one negative interaction can change your dog's personality for a very long time, if not the rest of their life. So for me, I do like to go near dog parks. I just stay outside of them and work on focus on me and name recall and using a long leash. I still keep them on leash. Recall outside of a dog park where I know we're safe and we're not going to physically get in contact with one of them, but they can still see, hear, and smell all those dogs. Or simply going the opposite direction in your neighborhood and walking on the other side of the street when you're going on a walk, because this gives them new and different things to sniff and smell. But if you do this 52 times a year, that's 52 different experiences you give your dogs, which you can do a lot of this inside your home. Think about the confidence that your dog is going to have after a year of that. Now let's talk about their medical and general health. And what I do for my dogs at bare minimum is at least take them to the vet for a checkup and blood work once a year. Ideally every 6 months, but the bare minimum, we want to take them in. That way we can be more proactive in their care. Because while a lot of us don't take our dogs to the vet every single year because we think it's expensive and we just kind of forget about it, which I completely understand, it can actually be cost saving and be helpful to your dog to take them once a year so that we can potentially see any issues that may be starting to arise before it becomes a really big issue. And again, that's why I use pet insurance for my dogs. I personally use Trupanion because in the event something were to happen, a disease, a joint issue, I'm not as worried about what that cost is going to be. It's more about what's going to be the best care plan for them. And this next one might sound a little specific and silly, but I think it's really important for their health and longevity. And that is giving them fresh water at least once daily in a clean bowl and using a clean bowl at least every other day for their food. The reason being is if you feel the inside of their bowls, if you don't change it out every day, you'll start to feel a slime. And that slime is a biofilm that over time can harbor harmful bacteria. So it's important that they're getting fresh water, obviously always access to that, and then cleaning it out and giving them fresh new bowls. Now let's talk about my 15-minute hack to tire my super high energy dogs quickly. Click the video right here and we'll jump over there together. Or if you want to see more about the foods that I love for dogs, click the video right here. Don't forget to click that subscribe button and I hope you have